Welcome back to InsideBoxing's Throwdown. My name is Steve Johnson, co-host Aurelio Martinez. Here's our third and final segment for this week. This one, we're going to take care of discussions about the upcoming fight that most everybody in the world has been waiting on, and that's this one with United States Errol Spence taking on the UK's Kell Brook. Kell Brook is 36-1. I think you can correct me on this if you want to, but I think Errol Spence is 21-0. He's got 18 knockouts. His last fight, he took care of Chris Algieri, who's a formidable opponent.
That's right.
Took care of him. And Aurelio, I think with Kell Brook, you know, I've been a fan of Kell Brook for a while, and that was mainly because of my hatred.
Yeah, you have.
For Amir Khan, who ducked him forever, still ducks him.
Yep.
But Kell Brook in his last fight, remember, against Triple G, he got his eye messed up.
He had that socket busted up.
And so
but that's a good one. That's a good one.
To take on Errol Spence in his first fight back, dangerous to me.
Well, it is
very
dangerous.
dangerous.
But
go ahead.
You follow him in Kell Brooks and way back.
Kell Brook. You've been calling him Brooks for years, man.
That's because I grew up with some Brooks, man, down the street. But anyhow,
I think you would. You don't want to call him Woods.
But anyhow, that was a good one. That I'm gonna give you your props for Kell for following him and saying this guy's good and this guy's good. Because some of the other guys that you kind of went on, like Hammer and Hank Lundy.
Wait a minute, let's go. Let's go back with Chavez Jr. We're gonna go down that road.
Hammer and Hank Lundy was gonna be the next champion.
I never said that. Go back and look at the tape. I never said that. But anyway, bottom line is that they're going to fight the Sheffield, UK Sheffield, Vimal Lane arena there in the UK. It's going to be a fantastic turnout. We know that. It's going to be awesome. It's not a pay-per-view fight, is it?
No.
Please not.
No.
But
it says this because I want to talk about that. It's not a pay-per-view because this is Al Heyman. A premier, Spence is with Heyman.
PBC.
So it's a PBC fight. So, but anyway, you're right. It's a very dangerous fight for his first fight back. When he got, he could have been blinded. I mean, he actually got that orbital socket damaged and fractured, and one starts to think when a boxer gets injured that severe, do they even come back? Much less come back and take on someone like Spence.
Yeah.
Now, on the other side of the spectrum, you got Kell Brooks, which is going over to the other side to meet him in hostile territory. Now, I like it.
You mean Errol Spence?
Yeah. Who'd I say?
You said Kell Brook.
Okay. But anyhow, I like it because so many people are afraid to do that. There's been very few, like Stevie Little Bit Bad Johnson. He traveled. Muhammad Ali. They didn't care where they went.
Oscar De La Hoya said it's the stupidest thing he's ever heard, that he would go over there. He said he knows how to move fighters, and he would never allow him to go over there. Let Kell Brook come over here. Well, there you go.
We have some good stuff to say about Oscar's
we're
shows.
We're going to dedicate a segment to him one week. And,
but anyhow, very dangerous fight. Spence is tough. He's that young, upcoming athlete, and I say upcoming because he really is newer to the scene in comparison. But he's one of the fighters that knows he can't be beat. He can't be beat, and he won't be denied. He won't be denied, and that's dangerous. I mean, his last fight with Algieri,
like Chris Algieri,
he just took it to him. I mean, like nobody's business.
Stopped him.
I mean, it was crazy. So Kell, what's he gonna do when he has Spence coming in? Spence don't let up. Spence don't let up. Okay. So what do you think? You think the atmosphere will kind of settle Spence down, or do you think he'll just be able to turn that off and go in and fight? Or I don't know. I'm telling you, this is one where I would pick Spence, but simply because I know Spence and I do, but it's not a clear shot.
Yeah, this is a fight where you might want to say that for these guys, you look at their resumes, and they really don't have any of the guys that you say are a real threat to them, other than Kell Brook knocking off Sean Porter, Kell Brook's only loss was Triple G.
Exactly.
And that's when he moved up in weight. And there was a little bit of a discussion about early in the negotiations is that, Triple G, Kell Brook being able to make weight
Yeah.
He moved down from welterweight. Because remember, he was moving up to junior welterweight.
Exactly.
And I mean, super welterweight. And he was going to fight at 154. And we thought that was a good fit for him. But we saw that fight with Triple G. No, it's not a good fit. So he moved back down here to welterweight. He thinks that he's going to handle this. But both of these guys have not, to put it in a nutshell, this is a good fight for two guys that are pretty evenly matched.
I think so.
I think Kell Brook, he's a tough nut to crack. But we'll get to see how that eye holds up. I mean, Errol Spence has it all. I remember I told you in the amateurs, he's from DeSoto, Texas. I'll never forget when I first time I saw him in 2000. And man, I said, man, this kid is something else. I mean, in 2010.
I like what you're saying.
This kid is something else, man. He's got it all.
I like what you're saying, where it's evenly matched, because it really is.
It really is.
I mean, the only big name that Spence has, of course, is
Algieri.
Yeah, exactly. And Brooks, same thing, Triple G, because he was beating.
Well, he's got Sean Porter too.
Well, Sean Porter, but I mean, he was beating everyone on his way up. He was beating everyone in the UK, and you know,
the only one that wouldn't fight him was Amir Khan.
Yeah,
and we know why.
Because he was smart.
There you go.
Okay.
Or he should have signed with Oscar.
So anyway, I think they both have. I think the advantages you can talk on either side. The advantages they have. Number one, Kell, he's going to be fighting in his home comfort, in his comfort zone.
Yeah.
Spence, of course, is fighting for his promoter, Al Heyman, doing his thing. So he feels he's got that advantage, promoter's advantage. So this is a fight I'm looking forward to.
This is a fight that is big. It's just as big for Al Heyman as it is for Errol Spence, because you and I know, if when Errol Spence pulls this off, going over there to fight in the UK, Roy Jones, B-Hop, they'll tell you, I ain't going over there. They used to say, I'm not going over there, okay? He goes over and he pulls this off. Al Heyman's investors, they jump in with both feet.
That's right.
They say, you've got a guy here that we're all about it, and that's going to be PBC Promotions is going to go on further.
I want to talk a little bit about Al Heyman and Premier Champions, okay? But before we go into that, real quick, if you had to pick a winner.
Not if I have to. I'm picking Errol Spence by stopping Kell Brook.
Woo!
He's going to stop Kell Brook.
You know, I wouldn't go that far. I think it's going to be a decision.
Well, then that puts it awful tough for Errol if it's a decision.
I think Brooks wins a decision.
Oh, Brook
wins a decision at home.
Wow.
And that's the way I see it. I'm calling that right now.
Wow.
I think he brings Spence back down to earth.
Well, then we can't watch this fight together. I will not sit there and watch you cheer for Kell Brook. And I like I said, I like Kell Brook a lot, but no, seriously, that surprises me a little bit, but not really.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, this is an evenly matched fight. Anybody that takes either side, I couldn't really put up an argument with them at this point till after we see the fight.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be that competitive, and I don't think you have to worry about there any stuff like Canelo and Chavez Jr.
These two guys are going to win.
Fight.
They're fighting to win. They're fighting to win. Now let's. We got a minute and a half. Let's talk about Premier Champions. Okay. Al Heyman, and if you had to say, has he had an impact on the boxing scene, more so in the United States? How would you say? Good, bad, negative? Because remember, he started bringing free TV, free boxing to broadcast television.
I would say good.
Let's give him great.
Good. You know, the only negative I would have, and it's almost a given. Remember, he started off with some blockbusters, and as time went on, it kind of got to the point where it's pretty mundane. But how long was he going to be able to keep with the top names coming up fighting for free? You know, I
was with you, the same thing. But now when I look back at his whole plan, because remember, he had over $500 million with the investors' money coming into this. Oscar De La Hoya and Bob Arum tried to slap him. They went after him. They threw lawsuits on him. They said the Muhammad Ali Act, all this stuff. Guess what? They all lost, and they knew that Al Heyman had enough money to keep him tied up in court, and they were going to spend a lot of money trying to sue him. And you know what? They weren't going to win.
He's here to stay.
So he shot them right out. They're done. Their lawsuits have been dismissed.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. And his lawsuit has been dismissed, and now he's going full string and full speed. I just like it. You know what I really like is that the boxing here in the USA had really gotten to an all-time low.
It really had.
Okay, it had gone to an all-time low. Nobody wanting to fight. Nobody wanting to fight each other. Nobody wanting to do this. They wanted Mayweather money, even though they weren't even close to being a Mayweather.
That's right.
So this is turning things around, and I see it turning things around for boxing. You got the free boxing TV. More and more boxers in the United States are going to be able to get that exposure and make a name for themselves where it wasn't there before. So I really like what he's doing, and I hope that it expands even more beyond not only Al Heyman but other promoters are given the chance by the free TV, by the CBSs and the all the free networks, that they go out and reach out with other promoters to start putting even more action boxing on free TV. I really think that would be great. I love it.
Well, you see, Oscar's already got ESPN wrapped up for a minute, so let's see how that goes. But Al Heyman's he's gonna, like I said, when Errol Spence wins this fight on the 27th, okay, Al Heyman, he's, for better lack of a better term, he's at the top of the pile.
He may get another $500 million invested into his company.
Because he and Floyd are on the same page, and that page is that we don't need all this pay-per-view. All you young boys that think that because you were undefeated and all that you deserve Floyd money, not going to happen. So you're going to end up fighting on Premiere, or you're going to fight on Friday Night Fights with ESPN, and we'll see how it goes.
I don't even want to talk about ESPN because Oscar signed, 40-something odd fights on ESPN, so that's a couple of years, 3 years or something package. So people, you know what you're going to see on ESPN from now on. You're going to see Oscar fighters winning subpar opposition. That's what you're going to see. That ESPN package was nothing more than to bring the Mexican money in to the shows, because you already know who's going to win. It's going to be Oscar's fighters winning other fighters. PBC may have that. I'm not saying they're not, because they're not immune to that.
Yeah.
But guess what? You watch it for free. Okay, you watch it for free. You don't have to pay cable or something. It's on free broadcast. So
another reason for me to really pull for Errol Spence. Yeah. Okay, and I think you might come over to my side before that.
Well, don't get me wrong. I like it. But like I say, if we had to pick, that's the way I would
take Kell Brook. Stopping Errol Spence?
No.
Decision.
Oh,
that's right. You said split decision.
Yeah, decision.
I don't think that's going to happen. I got Errol Spence to stop Kell Brook around the 9th round. I think he's just going to put on a boxing clinic. He's going to show him how you just outbox him, and plus Errol Spence has power. Yeah. You know.
Well, he's going to have to stop him over on the other side. I mean,
I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope if he does, if he can win the fight, if he wins the fight, he wins it. I hope they give it to him. I hope there's no shenanigans where he wins the fight and they rob him. I hope that doesn't happen.
Well, I don't think it'll be robbery. I think it's going to be a close fight.
Okay.
I mean, Spence fans will call robbery if he loses. Brook fans will call robbery if he loses, because it's going to be that kind of fight. I just have a feeling it's going to be that kind of fight.
Real quick before we go, we have to mention that it looks like, no, it doesn't look like, it looks like there's going to be Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev 2, and we can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
We'll talk about that in the next week, probably next week or the week after, we might, but we'll get to that one.
Good.
And we're ready to go at it.
Come back and next week and listen to that, because we're going to talk. I'm going to give you a little hint. Andre Ward's going to beat the shit out of him, boy. Little hint. Okay, so until then, Steve, what do we tell our audience?
I'm stuck right now. But anyway, as we always do,
keep your hands up.